What's up, everyone? So, I was involved in a conversation a couple of days ago, and it was about respect, about honor. And it made me think about one of the most misconstrued things in the world. Take a listen to what I'm saying. So, you know how in the Islamic world, a Muslim who practices his or her religion gets an automatic amount of respect? It has nothing to do with fame or money. It has everything to do with something else. And why is all of this happening? Well, it's ancient, it's powerful, and it's kind of brilliant. I was talking with a guest some time ago, and it was a scholar of religions, and he mentioned this idea that has stuck with me ever since. We were not discussing Islam, we were discussing the issue of discipline and how to develop an unshakable character, and he said, Joe, the way honor is accorded, it's not for what you have, it's for what you have mastered within yourself. That resonated with me. Because in the West, we celebrate the end result, the championship title, the Netflix special, the IPO. What about celebrating the daily, grueling work that goes unseen? That's where this becomes really interesting. Because for the vast majority of the world, this is what this inner excellence is manifested in a Muslim's life in a way that is utterly singular. Anyway, I'm not a religious person, okay? You know me. I'm skeptical of creed. I believe all systems can become corrupted. And I think the idea of Islam, or at least the perception of it here, is tainted by politics and lousy press. Boogeyman, right? What if we remove all that? What if we focus on the underlying personal practice and not the geopolitical junk? Because at the end of the day, there's a psychology and physiology that's incorporated into the belief system. And that technology, that regimen, that's where the honor's at. Like when you see a guy with cauliflower ear, right away that guy wrestles. He's been through the grind. Listen, the 5 pillars of Islam, prayer, salah, not a suggestion. A non-negotiable daily commitment, 5 times a day, morning, noon, afternoon, evening, nighttime, every day. Think about that. It is insane discipline. It's like having the mind-body class the Buddhists go to included with the rest of the daily activities. You are at the office? Well, you pray. You are traveling? Well, you pray. It is like having more structure than Navy SEALs get for sleep. Just the structure alone earns you respect. It is like the visible sign of someone's commitment to prayer. You observe somebody putting the whole world on hold to pray, and unconsciously you think, they have something more important on the other side of the scale than personal comfort, more important than the job, more important than everything. It is a loud message in the middle of the noise. Wait, look at this. This is the part of praying that I just find fascinating. Praying itself, you see, isn't just saying the words in a whisper. It's a complete physical ritual. Positions exist: standing, bowing, prostrating oneself, sitting. They all have certain meanings. The prostrationist, the forehead against the groundies, the ultimate expression of humility, total submission. This is more than symbolism, though. Physiologically, you're altering the body's condition. You're disrupting the rhythm of the day. You're forcing yourself into a moment of quiet and focus. This is a hard reboot for the nervous system. I have the Wim Hof guy on, and we speak about breathwork techniques. I know gurus on who specialize in meditation techniques. This is what that is. But it's an integral part of life itself. The honor comes from understanding the fact that this is one person who every day, several times, battles the ego, battles humility, and connects himself to something he thinks may be greater. This war against oneself is the greatest war that could possibly take place. And it's not just the prayer. The other components erect this stronghold of character. Zakat, the obligatory charity. You have to donate a part of what you have. That ingrains the value of charity into your very being. Psalm fasting for a whole month of Ramadan from dawn till dusk, that's a lesson in self-control. So you look at a Muslim, and there's this immediate trust factor. At this deep level, this person is disciplined. They're acting on charity. They're acting on their temperance. And they're working on their honesty because their belief system requires them to be honest. And in terms of being in a tribal situation, that's where the honor is. Is this unique within the Islamic tradition? Of course not. You see this within other monastic, highly disciplined traditions, Buddhist monks, for instance. However, the Islamist tradition provides this level of monastic discipline for the whole population: the butcher, the baker, the software engineer. It is not the exclusive domain of the monastery. And by the way, listen, I can hear the opposing view, Joe. What about hypocrites? What about people who do the right things but are terrible? Yeah, sure. That's true everywhere. There are people who game the system. But this is about the example, the paradigm. The award goes to the action, to the effort. It's the same as awarding the martial artist for hard work, even if they never win. The act itself, the everyday commitment to the mat, is enough to be honored. Now, is this unique to Islam? No, of course not. You see this level of respect accorded to other monks or discipline groups, Buddhist monks to name one. But this level of discipline is accessible to all individuals within an Islamic society: the butcher, the baker, the software engineer. It's not sequestered away inside a monastery. But what about hypocrites? I hear myself saying, what about people who fake it but are lousy? Of course, this happens everywhere. There are always going to be people trying to take advantage of the system. But this award, I continue, is for the ideal, the paradigm. It's for honor and dedication, for the struggle itself, even if they never win a fight. It's like they're awarding honor for being a martial artist, even if they never win a fight, for putting in the work, for being out there, for trying. It's a massive topic, bro. We only just scratched the surface. I'm not trying to convert anyone. That's clearly not what I'm doing here. The aim is comprehension. There's a way to see through all the noise if you want to understand the psychology and social mechanics in play here. Why do people act in a certain way? What's constructed in a trustworthy human? That's the seeker's journey. I'd love to hear your thoughts on this in the comments below, especially if you come from a tradition like this. What did I get right? What did I miss? Let's have a respectful, crazy conversation about this. If you found this fascinating, do not forget to like this video. And of course, you can always subscribe to the channel for more of this type of in-depth content. Stay curious, stay open-minded, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.